Debunking travel insurance myths. You need to know this. We're discussing the most prevalent travel insurance fallacies in this video. There are many myths surrounding travel insurance, particularly for Canadians who are organizing domestic or international travel. It's simple to become confused about what is and isn't covered in the sea of false information that permeates social media and the internet. Dispelling the most common fallacies about travel insurance in Canada is the goal of this video. Knowing the facts behind these widespread misconceptions can help you avoid expensive mistakes and guarantee you have the coverage you require. Examples include the inadequateness of provincial health insurance overseas and the dangers associated with withholding medical conditions from disclosure. Let's examine the truth and dispel some persistent misconceptions about travel insurance. An enormous quantity of false information about Canadian travel insurance coverage is spread via social media, websites, and even friends and relatives. Regrettably, Canadian snowbirds and other travelers are now confused about travel insurance coverage due to a deluge of contradictory and erroneous information. This can have grave consequences for claims handling, costs, coverage, and treatment. Teaching travelers about the nuances of travel insurance is one of our main objectives at Snowbird Advisor Insurance. No matter where they buy their travel insurance coverage, travelers may receive the correct coverage at the right price and steer clear of any hazards by dispelling some of the most widespread myths and misconceptions regarding Canadian travel insurance that we have listed below. Myth number 1. If I become sick or hurt while traveling, my provincial government health insurance plan will take care of my bills. Some Canadian tourists believe that because their provincial government health insurance plan OHIP in Ontario, MSP in British Columbia, HCIP in Alberta, etc. will pay their medical bills if they get sick or hurt while traveling, they don't need to travel medical insurance. Sadly, nothing could be further from the reality than this. The percentage of emergency medical costs paid while traveling that are often covered by provincial GHIP is typically very low. For instance, the Ontario Health Insurance Plan OHIP would only cover about 2% to 5% of the cost of typical emergency medical treatment received in the United States, which can cost upwards of USD 10,000 per day for a hospital stay. The traveler would be responsible for paying the remaining 95% to 97% of the costs. Furthermore, related expenses like air ambulance, prescription medication, and return travel to your home province are typically not covered by GHIP. Myth number 2. If I'm simply going to be traveling within Canada, I don't need travel insurance. Except for Quebec, a majority of Canadian provinces have reciprocal agreements that will pay for emergency medical care when you travel to another province. However, it's crucial to be aware that each province has its policies regarding what is and isn't covered, and some costs aren't covered at all. As a result, there are frequent coverage gaps that might result in travelers having to pay thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars in costs that aren't covered by GHIP when they need emergency medical care in another province. Significant financial losses are still a very real risk, even if your exposure to out-of-pocket costs is frequently far lower than it would be if you obtained treatment in the United States or another foreign country. Consequently, Canadians who are traveling outside of their native province must do so with travel medical insurance. Fortunately, insurance premiums for travel only within Canada are substantially lower, sometimes by up to 50%, because claim amounts are generally much lower for domestic travel than for overseas travel. Myth number 3. Since my friend's travel insurance company offered a better deal, their supplier must offer the best deals overall. It's not a guarantee that you will receive the best deal from a given provider just because a friend or member of your family got their travel insurance from them. This is because travel insurance companies base their premium calculations on risk factors such as age, health, and length of trip. Since each insurance company assesses risk differently, different types of risk can result in very different premiums depending on the particular circumstances of each traveler. The tourist compares rates from companies A and B for travel insurance. One traveler receives a lesser premium from company A, whereas the other traveler receives a lower premium from company B due to their differing medical conditions. Insurance companies A and B in this instance have determined how much each traveler's medical condition will risk and have set their rates appropriately. In the end, no one insurance company provides the cheapest rate for every traveler in every circumstance. Travelers must compare premiums from several carriers to determine which one gives the best rates for their particular set of circumstances. Additionally, travelers must ensure that they are evaluating the coverage benefits of different policies side by side while comparing premiums. Purchasing a travel insurance policy solely based on price might be risky because any savings you make now might cost you considerably more later on if the policy doesn't protect you when needed. Myth number 4. If I don't think a medical issue is important, I don't have to mention it on my travel insurance medical form. You must provide accurate and truthful answers to any medical inquiries when applying for travel medical insurance. You are not the one deciding which illnesses and prescription drugs are relevant. Even if the claim has nothing to do with a medical condition you neglected to mention, your insurance company may reject it if you have not given them a complete and correct disclosure of your medical history. The most common reason travel medical insurance claims are denied is incomplete and inaccurate medical information. It makes no difference if you intentionally or inadvertently fail to disclose, thus even a sincere error could lead to the cancellation of your policy or the denial of your claim. Therefore, before completing your application for travel insurance, make sure to consult your doctor if you have any queries or are unsure about your medical problems. Remember that you still have an underlying medical problem and that you must report it if you are taking medication to treat it. If your high blood pressure is managed with medication, for instance, you must still report that you have high blood pressure. Additionally, resist the urge to purposefully give false or partial information in the hopes of receiving coverage for a medical condition that disqualifies you for a reduced price. Your insurance provider has the right to examine your medical records if you ever file a claim. If they find any missing or incorrect information, it will be able to use that information as justification to reject your claim. Myth number 5. If my health changes after I buy my policy, I don't have to tell my travel insurance company. Many travelers are unaware that after purchasing their policy and even before they depart, they have a continuing duty to inform their travel insurance provider of any changes to their health. Before leaving on your vacation, if your health or medical condition changes in any way, let your travel insurance provider know about it. This could have an impact on your eligibility rates or stability requirements. Your claims may be rejected if you don't notify us of any changes to your health or medical condition after you purchase your policy and before you leave on your vacation. And keep in mind that any modifications to your health entail any modifications, such as dosage adjustments, medication starts and stops, and diagnostic testing for possible changes to current medical conditions or the development of new ones, even if the changes or conditions are not yet diagnosed. Any changes to your health that occur after you buy your policy and before you go on your trip may have a variety of effects on your coverage, such as your coverage or premiums remain the same, your rate goes up, certain medical conditions aren't covered, or if the new ailment is so serious that your insurer won't cover it, you will receive a refund of your payment and your insurance will be canceled. Even though some of these results might be extremely upsetting, it is preferable to be aware of your coverage before you depart on your vacation rather than risk financial ruin by having your claim rejected after the fact. In conclusion, there are a lot of misconceptions about travel insurance, making it difficult to navigate. Knowing the truth about domestic travel insurance, provincial health plans, and the significance of declaring medical conditions will help you make well-informed decisions and obtain the appropriate travel insurance. Get the truth and travel with confidence to avoid letting false information ruin your trip. Thanks for watching.